We're hovering around that $3 zone, and right now XRP is facing heavy resistance. There's a ton of sell-side pressure trying to hold it back, but that could be about to change. Why? Because we've got some major internal shifts happening in the crypto world. First off, massive alert. Tether just minted $1 billion USDT at their treasury. Yet this is happening from within the crypto space. Paolo, Tether's CEO, is basically hitting the money printer like there's no tomorrow. And here's the pattern we've seen time and time again when fresh USDT gets created like this. It typically takes about 3 days before that liquidity starts flowing into the market. So what does that mean? We could be looking at a serious price pump in just a few days. You ready for this move? Because it's coming fast. It's wild, they just fired up the money printer again, and right on cue we've got something major happening. By the time you're watching this, Congress is just hours away from voting on a massive crypto and Bitcoin market structure bill, and yeah, it looks like it's going to pass. Kinda suspicious timing, right? Printing billions and then boom, a pivotal crypto event right after. Feels like they're setting the stage for a big upward move. That's my take. Now, we'll dive into XRP's price chart in just a moment. But first, let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture. One of NACY's congressmen even confirmed they've got the votes lined up to pass all 3 major crypto bills. That means we're finally on the edge of real regulatory clarity here in the US, and that's huge. Now remember what was said: when this bill gets passed, the entire crypto market could explode to a $15 to $20 trillion valuation. And that's not a rumor that came straight from the White House, from Trump's own team. And now, it's actually happening. Asterisk, asterisk. So earlier today, there were whispers that maybe, just maybe, the votes weren't locked in. But then something happened. President Trump had some key meetings yesterday, and now it's looking solid. The votes are definitely there. To push this through the Senate, let's be real, Trump probably called up his people and said, "You better vote yes on this bill." And what bill are we talking about? One that introduces the first federally backed, clearly regulated, dollar peg. This could kick off a whole new wave of competition in the payment space, especially when it comes to blockchain-based transactions. And that's just one part of the story. The House has also been pushing forward on the market structure side with support from both parties through both the Agriculture Committee and the Financial Services Committee. Then we've got Tom Emmer from Minnesota stepping up with a bill that blocks the Federal Reserve from launching a central bank digital currency. All 3 of these bills are massive and they've got strong momentum. Now here's the kicker. Trump is already calling himself the first crypto president. He's saying he's got the entire crypto vote behind him and he plans to follow through on his promise to make America the global leader in this space. It's all happening through actual legislation, not executive orders. The speaker is literally working this morning to finalize how these bills are going to be brought to the floor. Here's what blows my mind. When Bitcoin and Ethereum went parabolic in past cycles, none of this legal or regulatory foundation even existed. XRP too, it went wild without any of this in place. Now imagine what's about to happen with these frameworks, laws and policies backing it all up. Watch how the capital floods in. It's about to get crazy. Guys, we haven't even scratched the surface yet. And to top it off, just today, the latest PPI data came in at 2.3%. That's a huge signal. Things are lining up across the board. Even better, that 2.3% PPI reading came in below expectations. That's a big win. It shows inflation at the producer level is cooling off, which could give the Fed exactly what it needs to start dialing back those interest rates, and you already know what happens then. Lower rates mean cheaper borrowing. And that's fuel for stocks, bonds, and especially crypto. This could be the spark that lights the next leg up. So does this mean the Fed is gearing up to finally cut rates? Honestly, with how wild the data's been lately, it's hard not to think something's being tweaked behind the scenes. But to me, the message is clear. Everything is pointing toward liftoff. I'm hyped. And get this, David Schwartz recently tweeted about Ethereum, which he rarely does. That's a pretty strong signal that alt season might be right around the corner. Bitcoin's already leading the charge, especially with those major crypto bills gaining momentum, and once Bitcoin breaks out, the momentum usually trickles right into XRP. Right now, XRP is pushing against that final resistance zone. Once that's crushed, we're flying. I'm talking about a classic double bottom breakout, even a clean W pattern forming right here, and the target brand new all-time highs. But here's what's been on my mind. Are we going to retest that key level around $2.60? Because personally, I hope we do. I want that pullback so I can enter a monster long position and ride it all the way up to the next level. This setup is getting explosive. It's just a matter of time. We could be heading to some serious highs, maybe even heavenly highs, and honestly, I'm starting to doubt we'll see any meaningful dip. I was analyzing the XRP charts earlier today, and the sheer amount of capital flowing in right now is just insane. The last time we saw this kind of inflow was back when XRP surged from 50 cents to over $3. That same kind of energy, it's back. With this level of buying pressure, the sell side is getting completely absorbed, and that's a big reason why this chart is screaming strength. Every time XRP tests that key resistance, it weakens it. The more you tap on that ceiling, the more likely it is to shatter. So while a slight pullback might happen, what looks more likely right now is a steady push upward, a rally that just keeps building. This isn't just price action, it's being driven by an absolute wave of money flowing in. And when that happens, it's a rocket. Honestly, I was shocked looking at the charts. If you ever catch these indicators cooling off even slightly, that's your signal. You've got to make a move. If you still don't hold any XRP at this point, you're late. You should have bought already. Yesterday was better. But guess what? The next best time is right now. Don't wait around and end up chasing. At least have something in the game. Here's the deal. A solid weekly close above $3 could be the catalyst to launch XRP to $4.80. That's the conservative upside target. And on the weekly time frame, there's literally just one resistance line left holding XRP back. That's it, one line at the $3 mark. It's not just technical, it's psychological too. That's a major Fibonacci level. You can literally see XRP battling it. 1, 2, 3 hits. Every time it touches that level, it's chipping away at the sell wall. Buyers are absorbing everything. Once that wall crumbles, it's lift. XRP is slowly but surely grinding higher, and a breakout is looking imminent. On the hourly chart, things are getting tight. Liquidity is stacking up right above current levels. It's thick, it's dense, and it stretches all the way to around $3.25. Realistically, I'd say we push as high as $3.40 before we see any kind of real correction. That's usually what happens. A quick liquidity grab, maybe even a fake out spike above resistance, just to shake the weak hands. And then the real move begins. So here's how I'm playing it. If we hit $3.40 by next week, I'm personally waiting for that pullback before I load up again. Why? Because they're not pushing price down to let people in cheap, and that's a major signal. When price holds like this and continues to press against resistance, they're front-running the breakout, and it could happen today, especially with the crypto regulation bills expected to pass. XRP is showing strength on the lower timeframes, and it's doing it better than Bitcoin. That says a lot. We're seeing clear bullish continuation patterns, resistance pressing from the top, strong support holding underneath. It's consolidating, not collapsing. So where's the target? If we break above this range, the next zone is around $3.30, maybe even $3.40. That's right near the previous all-time high, and it makes sense we'd tag it before any kind of retrace. After that, I'm looking for a clean retest of support, and that's my ideal entry. But if you're not in already, you might not get that chance. This thing is holding strong and it's gearing up for something big. XRP is slowly but surely grinding higher, and a breakout is looking imminent. On the hourly chart, things are getting tight. Liquidity is stacking up right above current levels. It's thick, it's dense, and it stretches all the way to around $3.25. Realistically, I'd say we push as high as $3.40 before we see any kind of real correction. That's usually what happens. A quick liquidity grab, maybe even a fake out spike above resistance, just to shake the weak hands. And then the real move begins. So here's how I'm playing it. If we hit $3.40 by next week, I'm personally waiting for that pullback before I load up again. Why? Because they're not pushing price down to let people in cheap, and that's a major signal. When price holds like this and continues to press against resistance, they're the breakout, and it could happen today, especially with the crypto regulation bills expected to pass. XRP is showing strength on the lower timeframes, and it's doing it better than Bitcoin. That says a lot. We're seeing clear bullish continuation patterns. Resistance pressing from the top, strong support holding underneath. It's consolidating, not collapsing. So where's the target? If we break above this range, the next zone is around $3.30, maybe even $3.40. That's right near the previous all-time high, and it makes sense we'd tag it before any kind of retrace. After that, I'm looking for a clean retest of support, and that's my ideal entry. But if you're not in already, you might not get that chance. This thing is holding strong, and it's gearing up for something big. Now let's talk about some fresh data. Vincent Van Code shared AI-generated insights on the XRP USDT pair, and here's what it shows. A massive sell wall sitting right at the $3 mark. That's exactly where XRP is battling right now. And the AI notes there's a 70% sell-side dominance in the order book, which is what's been holding things back short-term. But here's the thing. The moment XRP breaks above $3, it's game over. That resistance is the final boss. Once that's cleared, the bulls are fully in control. Could it happen today? Maybe. With all the bullish macro events stacking up, like the USDT printing spree, there's more and more fuel flowing into the top side. And now, with traders starting to pile in on leverage, this could spiral into a self-fulfilling prophecy. FOMO kicks in, momentum builds, and the price just starts climbing with no clear ceiling in sight. Honestly, I was hoping for a little more time, but it looks like they're going straight for the kill. So be ready. This move could trigger at any moment.